morning and welcome to the Nova Show. I'm your host, Chris Nova. Welcome to the... Here at the Nova Show, we do what I want when I want because it's my fucking show. Today on the Nova Show, we're looking at Rust, maybe. We're going to be trying to chill out and enjoy some open source, soft music, and maybe some good content. How's everybody doing today? I haven't streamed in, I think, 2 weeks. It's been a long time. It's been a rough few for many reasons. A lot going on in my life, a lot going on in the world. There's just a lot. Anyway, one of the things that I've always found value in my Twitch stream. Very glad to know y'all are always here. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is having fucking... Sincerely, I hope you're all great. Looks like we have a lot of people here. Let's go say hello. Let's go say good morning. Zunderscore is here. Zunder, are you still around? Are you still here, Zunder? I want to tell Zunder. So Zunderscore is my favorite streamer to watch. I hope he's here. I just need to tell him how much. I feel like he's part of the family at this point. My wife knows him. It's totally a thing. Pretty much my brother at this point. Good morning, son. Good to see you. Ghostface Killa is here. What up, Ghostface? I think I saw you in our Discord the other day. Somebody wants to drop a Discord link in the chat. Go ahead. Matt Wilcox is here. Says, woo, she's back. I am back. Good to see you, Matt. It has been, I think, 2 weeks. I think last Wednesday was the last time I streamed. So what, a week and 3 days? Ghostface Killa says, in my workday now, and glad it's a quiet one for once. Can sit and pay full attention to knowledge about to be dropped on my head. I don't know how much knowledge dropping we're gonna do today, but I'm certainly happy to be here to talk with folks. So I took today off work. Well, I tried to take today off work, but not working out very well. So I was supposed to go do some like outdoorsy stuff today. Some friends, but my friends postponed until tomorrow. So I'm gonna leave and go do some ice climbing today. I'm gonna leave this afternoon, so I've got the next 3 hours of my calendar freed up, which is great because I get a couple of hours during the day to kind of focus on Twitch, and then I'll go check in with work. Things are going, and then hopefully I'll be able to get out of town early. Oh, but before we go too much further with the hellos, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. He has to come tell us. So let's see, where were we? So yeah, Ghostface Killa says, in my workday now, and glad it's quiet one for once. I'm also glad it's quiet. It's per Piljikin. Well, hey everyone. So this is one of the things I was talking to Madeline, another streamer, about yesterday. I want to go work at Twitch for like 6 months. Just so I can add the following feature to the Twitch dashboard. I want to change my link first. I want to create Starbucks names for Twitch streamers. So hear me out. So you see how you all have these like fucking usernames that are like, hi, G7XX4733 ___ asterisk. Welcome to the show, right? But like, what if it was just like, you know, 30 characters, right? It was just a text box. You could put anything you wanted into it. You could have duplicate names. It was just like an empty fucking box. Just like, didn't even need to go in the database. You could just like store it in your session code, right? Like, I could code this in like 10 minutes. And what if just everybody had like the opportunity to just like enter a Starbucks name, right? So I could be like, instead of asterisk, asterisk, semicolon, semicolon, underbar 3, I could just be like, hey Sarah, right? Like, it's just like, all of a sudden we could actually have like silly names. I don't know. I just get so tired of reading Twitch names. It's seems like it would make sense. There's probably a good reason for it. I'm sure anytime you give people a text box, they're gonna abuse it. So, like putting a chalkboard in the bathroom of the men's room, like, you know what they're gonna draw on the chalkboard. You know what's gonna happen. You put a text box in front of people, you know what they're gonna put in that text box. You know what they're gonna do. Cats Intense is here. Hey, Cats Intense. First timer going to make some lunch and come back. Welcome back, Cats. Welcome to the show. I hope you love it here. Last Chain says, happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Last Chain, it's good to see you. Chris Nova, thanks a zillion for the subscription. That's actually pretty cool that your name is Azillion and it says thanks a zillion. Thank you for that. The subscriptions are helpful. I know they're obnoxious, but like that, it is a good way to like keep me streaming. Like, one of the reasons I came back today, because I was like, man, people spent like $3 whole on my little Twitch stream. I should give the people what they want, which clearly is more puppies and Nova rants. So it's good to see you. Last Chain says happy Friday. Ascertainment is here. It's good to see you. Cat's Intent says Chris Nova hub here for the first time. Anything I should know? I think no. Welcome to the show. I think the thing you should know is like I try not to do work here. There's like a longer explanation in my bio, but basically like, which is my safe space. So like I use GitHub at Twitch and I like talk about the things I do on Twitch at GitHub, but I think it's important to me and to my viewers that like this doesn't turn into like a work stream. And I think most people who come from work come here to get away from work. So I just try to like keep the two spaces, like I call it hygiene. Like, you just want to be hygienic. It's not like it's like bad to talk about work or anything. I just try to keep, you know, don't cross the streams, as they say, pun intended. So yeah, I mean, every once in a while, like we'll go off in a tangent about like, you know, GitHub or vice versa. I'll be at work and something will come up that I saw on Twitch and we'll go off on a tangent. But for the most part, this is just like me doing like, you know, free time, open source, personal space stuff. Van Clover says, good morning, folks. Jabu Bob says, pride. Ooh, thank you for the emoji. FF Abriella says, hi. Beholder says, hello. Faf in a boot is here. Good to see you, Faf. Good morning. Papa Ayaga says, good morning. Veronica Claire says, new TIFF lib update. That's exciting. Was it because of a CVE? Do we know why the library got updated? Ilamangaro says, looking at old piece of iron. Yep, that's rust. Gannett says, good morning. Hope life gets better. Good morning, Gannett. I think life is fine. I'm just like running out of time. I did not mean for that to rhyme. Okay, that was weird. I didn't mean for any of that to rhyme, but here we go. Yeah, I think it's just like between work and the nonprofit, taking care of myself and trying to get away, and weather, and just, you know, a new year. It's hard this time. Life's good. Life is good. Happy. Missed the streams. Happy to see you back. Veronica Claire says happy to see you. Thanks, Veronica. B-Fred is here. What up, B-Fred? How's life? Altalisa says, good morning. Today is the 6th day, so I can devote my attention to stream coding in C++, keep the world being overrun by Rust. Rust will eat the world. Last Chain says, I made great progress. Mental health department with therapy. Congratulations. It's always an Ascertainment shared the Discord. Blobka the dog says, you're doing the best, no worries. Looks like there's about 1 million Barnaby emojis in the chat. And Cats in 10 says, good morning, Chris. You're popping in for the first time. Hold on, the dog's barking. Let me go check on the dog. I'll be back in just... Okay, and we're back. So there's 3 of us living here at the house now, and so my wife, Q, just woke up, and then so naturally the dog went berserker. I love her very much. She's wonderful. But anyway, so let's see. Ascertainment says he loved the idea about Starbucks. To Case says Twitch chat is still pretty much IRC. Yeah, Twitch chat is IRC. I feel so maybe a better way to describe my stream is the stream is pretty much just like a public water cooler for the internet. It's kind of like Hackaderm, but like more in person. And it's just like cool people from across the industry who just like come together. And I just kind of like hang out and basically just am like the David Letterman of Twitch. Like I don't really do anything. I just like, and tell me more about what it was like for you when you met the man face to face, right? Like I just ask the questions that everybody's thinking and then the world just kind of happens. And that's all I really do. I feel like that's me with Twitch chat. I just like Chris Nova responds to the internet and people show up and talk about stuff. Cats Intense says, we'll read bio, thank you. Oh, sure. And Takei says, since it's IRC, we should be able to /Nick. We don't have a Nick? I wonder if you, that's a question for Zenderscore. There's gotta be a way to do it with Firebot. I just don't know if you can change like your username at Twitch or not. True, even Discord has / Time is a rhyme. Thank you for the subscription, Ghostface Killer. Azillion says, I heard Rust's name come from a mushroom. I have no idea. Kilimanjaro's is God though. So I live in the Pacific Northwest, and so one of the things that I am often looking at is I use this mountain forecast website. It has ads on it, but I don't mind seeing the ads because it helps kind of predict the weather here. But so it's got a lot of interesting content on it. This is one of my favorite services because like it's got good information, but you can tell that it was just built to just get the information out there. It's not actually trying to like be like this beautiful website or not, right? There's just like a lot of like bizarre screen real estate around and just like odd text in odd places, but like I'm actually okay with it. So basically this little chunk of data right here is 90% of what I'm looking for on this website. I'll use these little tabs sometimes, but not often. But really, so we were gonna go climb today. So if you look, it says clear right here. That's what we're looking for. There's one again tomorrow. So we pushed our climb back tomorrow when, see this bar right here? It's gonna be a lot warmer tomorrow, basically is what this is telling us. Which will be good, but I just need to get up there very early, but it'll be actually warmer. And so this is exciting for the weather. But the reason that it's exciting is if you go to NWAC, Mount Hood, this is so this is, if you look today, it's considerable up at the top. But if you go to the full forecast tomorrow, look at this. It goes from pretty bad today to moderate. Tomorrow's gonna be a great day. See this green check mark? That's what we're looking for. We want at least one of those. I don't fuck with avalanche terrain. I've done avalanche recovery before in the past. I'm good. I'm good. I just don't fuck with avalanche terrain. Anyway, this little freezing line down here is what's telling me tomorrow's it's gonna be a super crowded day as well. But that's okay. We're gonna go to Mount Pitt. Okay. So anyway, let's see what else are people. Oh wait, I didn't see that I was supposed to snow again on Tuesday. Is this a good time to ask a more general question about Aura and your vision about it? Yeah, go for it. Based plant. Feel free to ask a question and that'll be a natural segue for us. Last Chain says welcome back. Standard Error says good morning. Fafna Boot says you can change Twitch username, but it can't be changed again for 60 days. Beware. Yeah, pretty sure it's pretty locked down. It used to be a bit more transparent from what I remember. I've actually used Twitch with WeChat once, but the UX is not optimal. Thanks for the follow. Benson's here. Hey, Benson. Benson, how's life? I think about you and your colleagues, Benson, but I don't know. I worry about y'all. I know y'all got shit going on over at the big house where you were. Avalanche should scare the fuck out of me, says it. Vodka the dog says come play NT. Yes, we are. Your community. Like Windows new technology? I don't know what NT means. When I hear NT, I think Windows NT. I think new technology. I think the new kernel. Howdy, I'm doing okay. It's pretty wild right now, but we're managing. Okay, well, if you ever need to talk about stuff, Benson, you know where to go. And on that note, Based Plant has a fantastic question for us, which is, how does Aura compare to System D and its ecosystem story? There's Madeline. Madeline's here. What's up, Madeline of Rivia? She says Chris. And Benson's here. See, the whole family's here. It's like family morning breakfast. Like, good morning. See, this is what I mean. I'm just the David Letterman of the internet. I just sit here and people show up and I just talk to people about their lives. So Madeline's here. So Madeline, I'm gonna give you a big shout out if that's okay, just for a few minutes. Can we just spend a few minutes talking about Madeline really quick? I'll get the waffles going, says Madeline. So lots of Linux hackers here today, says Faf in a boot. So yeah, so Tobes on Twitch says time, and LH John Nielsen says hey. Madeline says go for it. Okay, so we're gonna totally just spend a few minutes here talking about Madeline review. Cool. So we're gonna pull up her Twitch first. Here's what we're gonna do. So Madeline here, y'all should go drop her a follow if somebody wants to. There we go. You should go drop her a follow. She is here. So she is, she just recently graduated the 100 Devs alum. She's a new dev and she just got her first job working in the industry. How fucking cool is that? Think about that. And like, more importantly, how big of a responsibility do we have as technologists who are already established in the industry into like keeping the industry awesome, right? So like, I'm like thinking back to like when I first had like my big girl, like welcome to tech. It was in like 2014, so almost 10 years ago. And I took a few years for me to like really like figure a lot of the junk out, but I definitely think you know, somebody had pulled me aside and they gave me like my first Linux patch. Like they gave me like a little like Linux, like, you know, for like your jacket or whatever, and like welcomed me into some of like the developer Linux forums and like introduced me to some people. And I mean, like now I work on the kernel full time, right? So like these like things, these little things you do early in people's careers can really cascade. I mean, really, right? Like for me, it was like just having somebody be nice to me and welcome me to tech was like a huge deal. And I remember getting like my first GitHub hoodie, like long before I worked at GitHub, right? And I was very proud of that. It's like a big, like I was proud of my. So anyway, Madeline is just like, I've been following her and trying not to creep too hard, but she's been teaching herself JavaScript, streaming, putting herself out there, being vulnerable, making mistakes in front of people, having people say all kinds of crazy shit to her, distract her, and she just gets right back after it. Like a fucking Chumbawamba song. She gets knocked down and she just gets right back up again. And she's gonna drink some vodka drink and some cider drink. And so, no, it's been fascinating to watch somebody like keep the dream alive, I guess. And I don't know, just like sincerely from the bottom of my heart, welcome to the industry. I hope you love it. And I hope that you and everybody else that you encounter can keep the positive vibes going. So, anyway, go drop her a follow if you haven't already. She's super cool. And if I had more money to invest, I only have like small potatoes investor money, but if I had like big kid money to invest, I'd be going all in on her. She's gonna fuck shit up. She's gonna do something big. And I suspect it's gonna involve like some really cool wildlife or something about like being outside with her camera, if I had to guess. Anyway, that's Madeline. Go drop her a follow. Okay, cool. So let's go talk about this system D. This was a good question. Sorry, we got distracted. So based had a great question. So we're gonna look at the question. So the question was, here it is. Let me copy it into my terminal here. There's the question. How does Aura compare to System D and its ecosystem / So I'll be honest. I've talked to Lennart about System D, and I just think we're trying to solve slightly different problems. But we have to like go to the same layer of the stack to make changes in order for us to accomplish the things we're trying to accomplish. So like, let me give you an example. Think about logging. We all know logging. Show of hands, who's here is like logged into like a Splunk dashboard before? Okay, you've like, I'm sure some, or maybe not Splunk, but like some, you know, distributed logging, something or other. Even Elasticsearch for the logs, right? Like even just like something for you to go and filter logs and look at the logs that you and your app team is putting out. Okay, so Benson, oh my gosh, you're an SRE. Of course you have. So anyway, so oftentimes, like if we were hacked, so if there was like a big security event and, you know, some like bad actors broke into our system. When I say our, I just mean like a hypothetical company. I'm not like talking about any specific company. But let's just say we were hacked. Some hypothetical company was hacked. You're gonna go look at the logs. Okay? Now let's say that you weren't hacked, or you know, you've already fixed the hack or whatever, but like somebody comes up to you and is like, Nova, our website is breaking. You're like, what do you mean it's breaking? Like it got slow. And it's like, oh God, like the old my website is slow problem. And so anyway, like where do you go to start debugging that? Go to the logs. Okay, and let's say, okay, you weren't hacked and your website isn't slow, but like let's say you want to understand which pieces of technology you're no longer actually exercising in production. You go to the logs. The point I'm trying to make here is that you use logs for many different things. They are polymorphic. They solve multiple problems. It's a useful tool that you would use in many different situations. When you get hacked, when you're trying to look deeper into your systems, when your web page is slow. There's a million reasons why you go look at the logs. Point is that if you go and you look at these logging tools, they're gonna have a lot of different features. Now, if we were to say the same thing about a init system, there are some init systems like systemd that do a lot of fucking things. And there are some init systems like Aura that have a slightly different scope. And they're kind of just designed to solve different. However, in order for them to solve their different problems, they have to kind of exist at the same time. So anyway, to answer your question, does Aura do what system? Some things, but it does them with a different goal in mind. So like the goal that Aura is trying to solve for is for distributed systems. So like one of the things that I want Aura to be able to do is to like play nicely with any distributed systems management tool, such as Kubernetes or Mesos or a control plane that has yet to be built. Hint, hint, motherfuckers. So anyway, like, Aura is designed to also simplify the things you have running on a node by establishing a strong set of executable and execution controls. And what I mean by that is that you run Aura as an init system on a node, just like systemd. And everything that you run on your node is now managed under Aura. And so, like, to give you an example of like what it would look like if we were building like a modern, like, say for instance, a Kubernetes node, you could have a container 1 and a container 2 at the top of your stack. And then you would have this thing called a pod, which kind of like encompasses your container. Okay. And then below your pod, you have a container runtime. So this is something like Docker, Podman, etc. And then below your container runtime, you would have systemd. And so this is going to be managing things like, you know, like your NTP, your network, and your system daemons themselves. Okay. And then below that, of course, you have everybody's favorite, the Linux kernel. So all that Aura tries to do is it tries to just combine those two layers into one tool. And the hope is that when we combine these two layers into one tool, we can actually solve a substantial amount of problems for here and here. That's the thesis, the theory, anyway. So instead of having systemd that is responsible for watching Docker, which is responsible for watching the kubelet, which is responsible for running a pod, which is responsible for like hosting your container, we actually just say that like there's actually just one thing here and it controls everything that runs on it. Which means things like node configuration is now inside. So systemd doesn't really do that, right? When you install a package on a Linux system, you know, you would like apt-get install a package, right? You know, install like foo, and then you would, you know, you could then possibly do like something like that. I think with Aura, we're kind of like, we're not going to do either of those. We're going to do something that's going to look and feel something a little bit more like this. Like it'll be a little more Kubernetes-like. It'll be like, you know, AE install foo, and you know that is going to basically like call out to a remote Aura node, and then we will do like AE start foo, and that will like call out to a remote Aura node, and then we can do like AE, you know, run container, start a remote container, right? So you can do, you know, system executables as well as containers using the same native tool. Right, so if you need to update Nginx in production that runs on the host, you use the same tools that you would use to run a container. And I think the hope is that you can still do things like run Kubernetes on top of it. So it's kind of a polymorphic system. But that's Aura described very high level. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And I recently built a new home directory, and so we're just going to do a quick git clone, and we're going to pull down Aura locally. Cool. So we're going to go into Aura, and we'll git branch, and we will make everything. We will see what we have. Alias for install. Guess I do make. Of course, it's going to try to run the test. How does it manage the installation part in the So this is a good question. So we're still working on the exact details of how we want to do package management. Um, I haven't written it down yet, but the proposal I'm gonna put in to the project is basically going to be like it's gonna look and feel very similar to like OCI artifacts, but for executables. So this is what Arch Linux does today. They have tarballs, and like an RPM is basically a tarball as well. So like, are we gonna go and create yet another package format? Maybe, I don't know if I want to. Maybe we'll use Debian, I'm not super sure. But the point is like, actually now that I think about it, Debian actually probably makes the most sense. But I guess the point is that like we would basically have a tarball with some config embedded inside of the tarball, and we download the tarball. I want to put all of the auth validation and provenance controls that you see in all the modern supply chain tools directly into that mechanism, and it will install it. I know a lot of people are also interested in Nix. I don't really know enough about Nix to like say whether I have an opinion on it or not, other than it just, every time I've tried to touch Nix, it's been like a very high learning curve, and I think that's like out of scope. So anyway, I think the point is going to be like, we want to be able to like download a tarball from a remote repository, authenticate that its contents are actually what we expect it to be, and then run the executable. I'm very interested in Gwix, which builds on Nix. I saw Gwix in Hacker News the other day. I think that it seems like it's the right direction to go in. And you know, I would hope that like whatever we use, it's like very straightforward. XM, says Veronica. Yeah, so basically that's what I meant when I said the supply chain tools of today, which really there's like runtime authentication as well as like provenance or XM authentication. Future is here. Good morning, Future. So we are filing the code. We also need to look at these. Need to look at PRs as well. Get these PRs merged. Oh, so we had one of them merged already. So this one's been open for a long time. Let's see how this one. I think I had left some. Do we just want to just merge this? Do we just want to just merge this and then I'll just go edit the docs today? I'm just gonna. So this is EMA. Added some tests for more tests. I'm gonna make DMA. Can we please address your highways request? And then we can merge this. I think Future made perfectly fine. Future, you are getting this assigned to you. the work in progress we were talking about. And let's also, let me convert this to craft. I guess not. Okay, so we really don't have that many PR. That's about. So we're still waiting on the code. Wix is pronounced geeks, or is geeks pronounced Gwix? So this is one of the reasons why I'm like very frustrated with our makefile right now. One, it just keeps changing and breaking my workflow. And I don't really care because it's just my workflow only exists in my head. But like, I guess I'm just, I'm sorry, I'm just always. The reason that the makefile is like, my workflow only exists in my head. So basically, I just want a command that just says compile Aura script in Aurae in AE that I can type in like 10 characters or less. And I just don't think that exists without like running all of these tests that I don't trust to pass. I mean, and like, yeah, I agree that like we should be like trusting our tests or whatever. I just am traumatized. Okay. Make Aura script. Can I have make Nova? Can I just make my own target that just says make Nova and nobody else uses it but me, and it's just my own make target that nobody else is allowed to touch? We'll run make Aura D, that's fine. Paranoia is could totally make targets do what says you there. Alright, let me. Okay. New term. Make file. Nova or D or script AE. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna do. Now I just have to figure out where this is supposed to go. This is also, so to be clear, this is also a huge sign of success for the project. The fact that I'm like walking up to the project and like I'm frustrated and I don't know how it works. Like, how exciting is this? You guys, the project is existing without me. This is like a huge fucking sign of, this is what like every open source fucking author dreams of. This basically means that the project has momentum without me. How fucking cool is it? Like, the entire reason that nonprofits exist in the open source space is for this situation. Is for this, and it's very rare that you run it. It just is. Very happy. Like, I know I complain a lot, but like that's because I'm me. Have you met about everything? I'm an INTJ with a capital J. But like deep down in my heart, I'm like very happy. You should put it in the alias section right under all. Cool. No idea what's happening, but I can feel your excitement. Big sane. Basically, Benson just wrote my target, and then Future Highway told me where to put it. We don't have AE in this repo though. AER. Great. Thanks, Future. So basically, we have a make target now. and then it will come with make oh good. Teacher, can I put this with the emojis? Is it okay to have? I assume that it has no on make. It doesn't have any effect on make. It's just like mostly just me saying fuck off, leave me alone. Cool, so that will work. Oh, good. So we have warnings now for eBPF. Oh, good. This totally looks like a legit runtime that is not gonna break in production. Kind of love that. It's fine with me. I assume it has no effect on make. I have a feeling that this section is going to grow with other people's commands over time, lol. Benson's like, I kind of love that. I hope not. I guess, and I don't know. As long as people aren't doing custom build steps here. Right, so actually love me. Well, I guess let me actually do that. Excuse me. That. I feel like that is a little more like, please don't fuck this up. Don't you need to add phony Nova? No, you really only need to do that if you have a directory called Nova. So if you remember, so the convention with make is like, you were like, once upon a time, right? You were able to do things like make foo, right? And then when you got done, there would be a target called foo, and then, you know, inside of foo would have all of your guts, right? And that would have your objects and your binaries, generated header files, and like, you know, all the stuff, right? And so like people were constantly like they were like piecemealing projects together. Like, remember, you would like make foo, and then you would go and get foo to build, and there would be all this junk you would have to do with it, right? And then there would be like make baz, and then you would be done, and then you would, you know, make bar, and then you would be left with foo, baz, and bar directories, and then you would do like make link, and then it would link everything together, and then it would spit out your binary, right? Back in the olden days. But we don't have to do that anymore. But so that's how old make is. And so like the only time you really need to do phony is when there's already a directory called that. So like we need a phony for like PKI, for instance, because there's a directory called PKI, or at least there used to be. I don't think there is anymore, right? Same for like Aura D. Like if we were to take the phony away from Aura D, let's find it. No, it's templated. Yeah. I can stop really quick. Basically. Here it is. Right? Define Aura template. One rogues Aura this whatever. If you were to move that phony and you do make Aura D, it will basically be like this already exists. Actually maybe the templates have broken it, but that's if we weren't using templates, that's what would happen. Let me find another. Box. Here, let me just do this. What? Just for like bits and grins really quick. I have one called foo. To kind of show you how this works. Nothing to be done for foo, right? And then we come into foo and we do like echo, beeps, right? And then it basically echoes oops. Now if I do like make dir foo, and I try to make, and I do make foo again, it says foo is up to date. Right, but if I remove foo, and I run make foo, it'll run its thing. Because make expects you to have a folder when you get. But if I do phony foo, and I run make foo, and then I make dir foo, it'll still run the target. That's why phony. And now you know. Okay. So anyway, so let's do make Nova, make sure everything builds, and we will open up a PR. Benson says, I love make files, I really do. This is how I know you're a Google SRE, Benson. Or sorry for completely blowing you out of blowing your cover here, but this is how I know. There's no hiding it now. I also love make files. Oh, speaking of Benson, guess where I'm gonna head after my stream? I don't know if you got the memo. I don't know if you were here for the beginning of the stream. The Saturday forecast. And looks like tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know if you have plans tomorrow. You know where I'll be. I like the look of tomorrow better than today. Yeah, that's why we made the decision to go tomorrow. I'm still in Montana. Nice. I hope Montana's going. Okay, so Aura D is made. Git branch, git checkout, B, make Nova, git status. Where are you resort skiing in Montana? Does Montana even have resort skiing? I know Wyoming does. What about... We'll do this. And let's do some try work. Okay. So we're going to be implementing some container logic with CRI. Big Sky and Whitefish. Oh yeah, I always forget Missoula. Bozeman are like things. I know Highlight Canyon, but I'm like, that's just for ice climbing. Buddy goes skiing around there. Cool. So here in Aura D, in CRI, run. Let's write our Aura script. Pod CRI engine. Here we go. So we will simplify this. Runtime, run pod. Let's go run this. And then air loading. So I think I do make eBPF. And now, okay. So it loaded our eBPF probe. And hello and lots of love from Milton, Kenya's. Thank you for lots of love. Thank you for the subscription. So this will create a Aura pod. Stream no longer. We created a pod sandbox called Aurae. And if I remember correctly, that is an R run Aura. So here is our Aurae. Why do we have Yoki? Oh, I guess that's for the runtime. Yeah, here's the bundle JSON. Then do we do a pod click? RMR bar. Sandbox or engine. Oh, is that's coming from RD? Because I didn't destroy it with RD. Okay. So let me add a to do in. Box RD. How do we? Where is that coming from? Is the question. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Can really just stop the. Sandbox not fit. So let's not yet in. Runtime service on it. Where is this not? So we basically say we do pod sandbox ID. So we do pod sandbox ID here, and then we get this. And so I think this is actually coming from the remote. So let's go look. Pod sandbox. me. No, it was just the wrong. So let me kill that and rerun script. We should get 3. No. Transport. Not in. It's. So we're getting this sandbox not exited. So DMA did this. I wonder if he did it for... So this is the things I oftentimes don't know if he did something for a good reason or if he just hacked something together. Which reminds me, I need to stick a needle in my stomach. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just need to figure out what we want to do here and why we think about that. I will take... Sorry for doing this on Twitch. I just know if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget. Welcome to being an ADHD neuro fucking weirdo. So let's see. The code here basically is like sandbox ID, sandboxes get sandbox ID. If sandbox ID status not equal contain stopped. Do I have to, maybe I have to stop it. This looks like something he did to like actually make it work. Is there a stop? I wonder if there's a stop bar. Hey Chris, I hope that you and your household is great. Thanks, good cramp. There's a stop above it says. Well, there you go. There you go, lady. There, stop. So I bet all we have to do is we have to stop it first, and let's see what the code does for pop sandbox. Oh, in. Which is kind of cool if you think about it, because this means that Aurae was just running in a container itself that we built from, because we're weird. Oh. I try to make this as like inconspicuous as possible so that folks don't have to actually know what I'm doing. I hope y'all are okay with that. Anyway, so let's see what this does. It says, so let sandboxes log get mutable sandbox. And then it sends in a init kill of all things, and then it says sig kill, and then it'll send an error if it can't sig kill, of course. Because now we have to have signal because that's the world of it. So anyway, like, Okay, so we'll stop it first. So we'll stop it and then we'll remove. Let's give this a try. So we're looking for basically full responses all the way down. Not yet implemented. So we crew. Let's not create the container. There you go. So now this is the exciting part of today. I would love to get this working. Later, fast. Okay, so we get our metadata. So let's get our sandbox from our cache. This pop. We need to make sure we have a pod sample. Then we will now is where it gets fun and we glue everything together. Sandbox dot the question I have, where's all of my Rust buttons? Does that make sense? Where's Stadium works? Let's go up here. How do you split which container to join? That's the question. With capability, with container. I mean, this all looks fine. Let's look at the, what is Yoki? Maybe it's path. I guess it gets the directory from here. So the as tenant basically just means it puts the process. We can say with current working directory, with environment, with container arg. So we can say with process. How do we map the index? So there's either two things. So either we're building this off of the file system, or we need to somehow tell this tenant container to run in the same namespaces as our init, which I was under the impression that the tenant container would effectively just be a new bundle directory in the same namespace. But like, maybe I'm fucking wrong. I don't know. So we'll have to kind of talk through this a little bit and see what we want to do here. I guess the other way it could do it is like, it just based off of the file system, it says, oh, I'm already running this, and I'll just add this as a tenant to the existing, which feels a little bit like magic and feels wrong. So I guess like, it's this with root path as tenant. Let's go look at the add tenant. Phone creates. Hey Tony, how's it going? As tenant with container args. New container. Generates new base config for a container which can be transformed either container. Into an init builder. The protodoc says create container creates a new container. In a specified pod sandbox, then there is a separate input part. I don't know what is meant pod sandbox. So in a pod sandbox basically just means like in the same namespace in Linux. Have a container builder. File which be used to communicate it of the container process to the higher level runtime. As init var run docker bundle build. This builder into a tenant builder. So here we basically say container builder new as tenant with container arg. Turns this into a builder. So this is where you lose me. How does this understand which container to run sleep? What does new do? So you pass in a container ID. That's the root path which will be used to store the container state. Okay, this is where we need to connect the dots. Okay, so the root path stores this thing called container state for Yogi. So if we go to var run Aura pods, this one, there's this Yogi config.json, and there's this state.json. Okay, so this is its state. So we can get the PID and the bundle directory, which is good. I really like the way this is set up so far. Use systemd set to false. I like all of this. Really good. So that's with root path. Okay, so when we say with root path, we basically can get our container path. And then we can do as tenant, and then after we have a tenant, we can do with capabilities, with container args, with process. What is with this? Path. No. That's the... Why do you path? That feels weird, doesn't it? Thanks for the follow. The build joins an existing. But really, this doesn't really give us what we need to actually schedule a new OCI image. Alongside our original. Thanks. I'm just thinking about the detail here of how we want to go about. Yeah, this is basically what I was thinking. With detach, with contained. So this is like how you basically execute a command in your container, which is good. I'm glad we have that. This doesn't run a container alongside in the same namespaces as the other one. Future Highway says, do we need a proxy like we do in Start and Sell? So this is why I keep thinking about it. It's like, so like, there's a lot of different ways we could do this. We could actually proxy through Aurae directly. That's one way. The other way is we basically go and we actually build a proper like pod style feature into Yoki. Which I know, I met the maintainer at FOSDEM and I know he would merge our code. So I'm not like, we can totally do that. It's just a matter of now like deciding what we want to do, which I feel like is the important part. So the question then would be, if we're looking at pod sandboxes, do we even want Aurae to be our init process? And are we actually okay with Aurae scheduling a container in its own as an executable basically? I don't know. I have some big decisions. Okay. I feel bad because we're not actually going to get as much done as I would have hoped today. Let me get all of that out of here. And make sure it builds. Right, so on one hand we just proxy through Aurae, on the other hand that kind of just deteriorates the whole reason why we're asking folks to package up their apps in the first place. Because then it's just like, then we can just inject whatever executable we want into our fucking pod, which is like, it's cool. I just don't know if that just completely defeats the purpose of containers though. Like, if by making things too flexible and too loosey-goosey, does it just, like, nothing, like, why would you even schedule anything in a container anymore, right? Like, why would you even build a container image at that point? You can basically just, like, start a container and then it's basically like a FreeBSD jail. You can just go inject executables into it and just, you know, it's fucking anarchy. You just do whatever you want. Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, I guess you can kind of do that anyway with Docker. I mean, you can exec into a container, right? Then it becomes like DNS. You can do whatever you want. Right, like, so here's the question. Is a container then just a fucking cell? Which would mean that an Aura cell itself is basically just like, we just need to be able to give it, like, a file system and it'll just go and run a cell. Let's do this really. You know what? We could go and we could create a pod in Kubernetes that has multiple. Let's do. Oh yeah, my Kubernetes. Oh, let's go. Destroy the cluster. I don't want to break my. I was just gonna schedule and then try to get it. That feels like a more involved reason. I don't know. I have to make it. I'm gonna have to about the. I was hoping Yoki just had a function that says like schedule and a container from OCI or something. That would have just made my life a lot easier. We can certainly go make that function. There's just. No, I'm thinking about other conversations. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. We're done for the day. I'll see everybody next time. I know this was a rather uneventful stream, but I think I'm just gonna. Oh. This plan says, I don't know if the implications, but a container being a cell makes sense from the goals of the project. You're building powerful runtime goals. The other reason why I kind of, just why we're on the topic, the other reason why I kind of like a container being just a set of cells is because then that pretty much solves the package management conversation, because then everything is just a file, it's like a tarball file system. Right, and then Aurae is running in a container, and then you just basically inject a cell into it, and you can pass OCI to it. And then everything's a cell. And then it's just a cell with what isolation? This is starting to feel like Solaris. I feel like I'm just building. I'm such rid of. Okay. I'll see everybody next time. Solaris, there you go. Cool. I'll see you all next time.